This is our boy Lee, and he actually climbed a mountain just to clap a tree, and let's just say he instantly regretted it. Bro went so hard that he ended up getting a splinter, and within an hour, he got sent to another world in anime as punishment. And in this brand new world, he has to wear a mask to hide how ugly he is now. Luckily for our reincarnated boy though, every tree girl in this new dimension happens to be a bombshell anyone would love to clap. Speaking of which, he gets ganked by a holy tree from the Oak family who tried to steal one of his special Dragon Balls. But Lee was somehow able to turn the gank around by giving her a different type of basketball she never expected. After giving the tree the taste of its own medicine, our boy starts rocking her bark with the help of 2 professional-sized basketballs signed by Anthony Davis, so she ends up feeling what's it like to be sent to another dimension. Long story short, the holy tree ended up being forced to transform into her unholy tree mode, and it's all because she secretly loved the Big Whopper from Burger Lee King. As she continues secretly faking not loving the experience with the Burger King, she starts insulting his Burger King spicy nuggets by calling them small and ugly AF. Now that was a bad move, Cotton, as the insults caused the spicy nuggets to evolve into spicy chicken tenders, as Lee wanted to make sure the oak tree will remember forever to never make fun of him or the Denver Nuggets. Anyways, our boy decided to cosplay a jackhammer while using stamina cheats, which culminated in the surrounding room to start feeling the effects of an earthquake, leading to the biggest tree water leak of all time. And in the end, the absolute menace claps back when the oak tree tells him today is the best day for her tree saplings to be created with 100% effectiveness, so he ended up exploding the Terminator within the tree. Now the crazy part to all of this is after our dude exploded on purpose, he withdrew his horse, and the horse was already ready for its second race. Shortly after showcasing the ability to instantly get ready for another match, Lee gets up and tells her that although he might have already forgiven her, his McDonald's feels differently as it's roaring to get revenge after her initial display of aggressiveness. Regardless, with Lee's sword already unsheathed and ready to do some light sparring against a tree for match 2, our boy holds nothing back and charges forward without any hesitation as he starts screaming like King Arthur with his Excalibur. Now with round 2 of the best of 5 series in the middle of its epic battle, Lee's opponent within the noble trees end up succumbing to his relentless attacks. As such, the unholy oak tree is unable to resist the truth and lets it escape as she stops pretending our boy's anime horse is the worst she's ever seen. Instead, her role in attempting to become the best Hollywood actress in the world has come to an end, since Lee was able to see and feel what she truly had in mind, so his confidence levels begin to balloon even higher. Anyways, long story short, our boy ended up placing a saddle in front of him using a tree, and in regards to round 2, Lee was the clear winner with the score ending 69-0. Nonetheless, the whole battle of the best of 5 series has led to a savage unlock within our boy's brain. So now the only thing he can think about is how awesome doing rice cake smashing with real trees in another world really is. Oh, and I totally forgot that his future wife was the one that made him do the subquest in conquering the oak tree, which is actually a really weird man if you think about it. Regardless, with the completion of the subquest, Lee has also gained another special Dragon Ball, plus an additional special feature from the Oak Tree Encyclopedia, giving him a slight bonus to his wind magic capabilities. Now that our boy has completed his first ever subquest, he puts his special mask back on, and then we discover he's super addicted to trees now, so he's going to try his hardest to get in the academy. It then dawns on him that if he's able to successfully pass the entrance exam, that not only will he win over the mother of all trees, but he will also get the chance to become Ash Ketchum, as he wants to catch all them trees. Oh, and by the way guys, he's not that bad since he ended up sharing the extra Dragon Ball from his reward pile. But he kinda is, since he surprisingly sticks it inside the treehouse. At least the oak tree loved the random special item entering a place the tree never expected to open up, so do what you will with that information. Nevertheless, shortly after giving away one of his rewards, he ends up leaving the entire oak tree headquarters feeling good about himself, while saying out loud that he had a tremendous and fun time even though he thought he was going to get destroyed. Instead, he came out of the headquarters feeling totally invigorated and became the man responsible for destroying trees in ways you cannot imagine. Plus, he added his first ever capture into his tree decks. So all in all, our boy had a perfect day today, so he's already ready to get home, and upon arriving, he sits down and reflects about what happened. He then got scared and sat by a window overlooking his front entrance, after he realized he just messed with an entire noble tree family, but luckily, Xiao never sent anyone to destroy him. Instead, the holy oak tree came out of her office looking absolutely flustered, but she ends up telling her head of security that no issue came up even though they heard and felt the earthquake coming from the room. Instead, the only thing she did was pass over the special arboreal ball to the head of her security, which she received from Lee. After handing it over to him without thinking, the man looks like he's about to gag from its disturbing smell, as Seong totally forgot how she got the Dragon Ball in the first place since it entered through the forbidden door. Now fast forward a couple days, Lee went back to grinding out some of skills by exercising every time he could, as he knows time is fleeting and the upcoming entrance exam is closing in very soon. Even his future wife has started to get super excited with his progress to increase his charm skill, as he's slowly and surely returning back to normal with his abs even reappearing. Eventually, our boy received a notification from the World Tree of Purity alerting him that his weight level has shifted forward to obese, which doesn't even make sense as bro got some abs. Anime be anime, I guess, so regardless, we fast forward to the day of the legendary entrance exams that will dictate whether the menace will live on or will Lee just perish for failing the exam. After arriving at the special academy, he sits down while waiting, but the dude is already shaking like mad due to nervousness, as failure is not an option. With time slowly passing, he gets even more nervous to the point he almost had a missing toilet problem, as Lee learned the exam is actually a duel between everyone else trying to join the academy. All our boy needs to do is to just beat the person next to him, and he will be good to go in this brand new world. But after finally checking out who's beside him, he realizes his opponent is going to be a girl. Now this girl isn't just a random normie, since upon inspection, Lee discovers that the pink-haired girl is actually Azalea, and she just so happens to be a successor of a very famous holy tree lineage. Nonetheless, Sussy Baka Lee stops nervously shaking as he gets enamored and distracted by another tree, since seeing her in person causes his banana tree plantation to instantly mature due to her being so pretty. However, our boy stares at Azalea for way too long, to the point where she ends up noticing, causing her to call Lee out as no popular girl wants the attention of an ugly duckling. As such, our boy responds super awkwardly, as playing Valorant or League of Legends all day taught him no social interaction skills, but he's able to stutter and make an excuse about how he saw her on the news. Luckily for our boy, she falls for his lame excuse, so she stops confronting him, but she goes back to staring at the wall looking absolutely bored. Eventually, she stops looking bored when an elf-like boy named Jung Sai-woo walks in and sits down. Azalea instantly shifts her gaze from the wall and instantly stares straight at the boy while looking like she caught the love bug. Of course, Lee feels disheartened and totally jealous that Jung didn't even have to do anything but sit down, and girls started falling head over heels for him. Regardless, his jealousy gets put aside as he hears an announcer call his group, so our boy swiftly changes focus as he needs to give the exam his all or he's gonna get sent to the afterlife. Shortly after entering the examination room, Lee learns that not only does he have to face off against Azalea, but he also has to deal with the Ultra Chad beside him, making him look like a dwarf. Surprisingly, Jung starts playfully insulting Azalea, but he's totally serious about destroying her in the duel. Meanwhile, our boy gets flustered as he begins feeling left out of the group. However, it turns out that Jung is actually really nice, as he ends up including Lee into the group conversation by asking him how his written portion went. Jung then continued on by revealing to Lee that he's also human, and since they're both humans, he wants Lee to succeed so they could get accepted together. Unfortunately for the two humans though, both of them end up getting picked first to duel each other and are quickly told to choose between a wooden sword or a wooden staff for their weapon. The two then step up to duel each other, where Jung tells him to make sure he doesn't hold back, but right before he could say anything, his voice gets drowned out by Azalea simping for Jung. Nonetheless, both boys end up choosing the wooden sword as their weapon, but before they could even start, our bro looks like he's Kai-Cenat with his height. And within 1 second of the duel starting, Jung quickly closes the gap and swings his sword so hard that he ended up breaking Lee's sword with one blow. With Lee's sword now rendered useless, Jung continues forward looking like he's super hell-bent on destroying our boy. Luckily for Lee though, right before Jung was about to send him back to where he belongs, the instructor steps in and orders Lee to pick up his weapon as Jung violated the rule of using spells. Unfortunately for our boy though, Jung's tremendous display of power in just a few seconds has already gotten into Lee's head, so he starts contemplating if he can even win. However, just as Lee is about to lose all hope in himself, future wifey World Tree of Purity interrupts him and cheers him on by telling him that he can totally win in style. And just like that, with the help of a chat box looking like Chat GPT with emojis, our boy's confidence and hope gets restored, so he readies for round 2. As soon as the instructor blows his whistle to indicate the start of the round, Lee instantly charged forward and path towards victory. Unfortunately, after blinking once, he found himself instantly defeated by the elf boy, where he got left with a lot of bruises, but at least the blows he received weren't from a real sword. After losing in style and heading out of the examination room, Azalea and Jung come out to greet our boy before he leaves, so they told him to keep his head up as he did a good job. Regardless, our boy had to leave the academy feeling totally defeated and left constantly thinking about his weak goodbye, since the only thing he could think of at the time was saying you guys did good too. And since he was the first one told to go home, his one-sided defeat by Jung has left a bitter taste in his mouth. Nevertheless, after a couple hours, Lee decided to put his attractiveness plus one mask back on to figure out a way to enter the academy, as he despised others, feeling pity for him. However, just like it seemed to be destiny, Lee bumped into Seong as he was wandering around back inside the academy.